More than 1 year ago I came up with the North African strategy with which you could get a lot of easy wins playing 1v1 capital conquest games. Here are the settings I would recommend you use in case you are interested. Back then I considered it to be the best territory, however the things have changed and I'm about to show you even better strategy than that. The North African strategy was basically considered unbeatable going first, and one of the best territories to counterattack that strategy going second, was considered to be the territory of Middle East. However, when facing very decent opponents barely it was working out, so very usually it were straight L's when facing opponents as such. So by getting interested in 1v1 games again, I decided to look for and find even better counterattack strategy than by simply putting your capital to the territory of Middle East. I remembered that some decent players were able to beat me going second when I used the North African strategy, and not by just simply luck but by actually taking over the advantage, so I knew that the North African strategy, even though was good, but not perfect. So I knew that there could be some better ways to play and I needed to find them. So what I decided to do is to play like usually, placing my capital on the territory of North Africa, and then learning from the people who would be able to beat me going second, not by the luck of course, but by actually taking over the advantage of using a proper strategy. And I didn't need to wait long, even though it seemed that by leaving the blue player with barely any territories I will eventually be able to take over a visible advantage. But with the blue player successfully invading both of my continents in the second round, the things were about to change, even though at first I thought it wasn't a big deal with me having quite more territories. But look, in my third turn I received 8 troops, while the blue player 9 of them, or 1 troop more than me, even though he had 5 territories fewer than me if we compare with the beginning of my last turn. I started with 20 territories while the blue player with 15 of them. So I realized that Australia could actually be quite more valuable than I expected it to be. As by successfully being able to hold it you get 2 extra troops each turn, and 2 troops in comparison with the territorial bonus equal to 6 territories, if judging by the fact that after having 12 territories you start getting 1 more troop with every 3 extra territories. So all in all, by putting your capital to the territory of Siam and capturing Australia, you are not only getting 2 extra troops which equal to 6 territories, but also you're guaranteed of holding 4 extra territories which is being protected by your capital, so in overall it gives you the value of 10 territories, if not counting Siam because of it being the capital territory. So yeah, every turn I was getting into more and more disadvantage. Until finally the blue player, having a set at 3 cards, decided to blitz my capital, but I mean in that turn he even got 10 troops and was expected to keep increasing his territorial advantage, so probabilistically he was supposed to win over me anyways. So this is when I decided to put the Siam Capital Strategy when going second to the test. Luckily enough I've got a very decent opponent using the North African strategy going first, so I knew that if I beat him by actually taking over the advantage as well, then this strategy will be really worth to take a deeper look for sure. So in order to guarantee the advantage I had to invade the blue player into his captured continents, and then capturing Australia put the troops to my capital back. That was a bit of risk to leave my capital with only 5 troops, but it was only the end second round, meaning that it would be unlikely for the blue player trying to blitz my capital without 3 rounds not being passed. And all in all the Siam Capital Strategy has really worked out well. The blue player in his turn received only 7 troops, while I even 10 of them. So my advantage was visible right away. I wanted to be sure that I will win this game, so I decided to play safe and keep adding my troops on the capital so it would be safe and not over capturing the territories. I was able to sustain the advantage along with safety. So anyways, at the end the blue player run out of time to fortify his troops on the capital back, but a huge advantage of mine was very visible and I would have won anyways. So after getting this very satisfying win, it was the time to get a rematch and beat the person who beat me before, and that's right, with his own strategy. Going first he picked his capital to be in the territory of North Africa, and to counter that, I was obviously going to the Siam Capital Strategy. So once again I repeated the same thing, invading the first player into all his continents that he captured, and capturing Australia for myself. So this time I was quite a bit safer, with the blue player picking the territories of India and China. His capital troops were blocked from accessing my capital. The blue player in his turn got 8 troops, while I and mine, 9 of them. Then in the following turn the blue player's troop bonus was reduced to 7, while mine was increased to 11. So it was clear once again that I'm as the Siam player taking over the advantage. It wasn't possible for the blue player to get out for the disadvantageous situation, meaning that the only way he could win this game is if he would get a favorable capital blitz roll. But knowing that I kept adding some troops on my capital, leaving the blue player's troops in North Africa blocked, so the blue player's chances to successfully blitz my capital would be as low as possible. So anyways, we kept attacking each other territories back and forth, and then seeing that it's a 100% chance to blitz the blue player's capital, I finally blitzed it. So by seeing that this strategy is working out very well, I decided to try it out playing in the public lobbies as well, and I kept getting as good results. Like, look at this funny case. The blue player, by seeing that he is ending up in a huge disadvantage by leaving the whole 20 troops on his capital block, decided to fortify them out to prepare himself to blitz me, as it would be his last chance. And with the blue player having only 1 troop on his capital left, I just simply blitz it. Well, that opponent probably wasn't as much experience, so let me show you another example with a more decent player. In his first turn he brought me to the 10 territories, leaving me with no additional territorial bonus. But once again I followed the exact same strategy, capturing Australia and invading my opponent into all of his continents. And I saw promising results once again. The blue player in his turn received 8 troops, while me, 9 of them. So once again it was clear that I'm taking over the advantage, meaning that the blue player would rather take the chance to blitz my capital before the odds of him blitzing my capital becoming even lower, but he didn't. He continued recapturing the territories with me back and forth. And then after a few turns I took a total advantage over him, with him not having even a tiny chance to make a comeback somehow. So what I realized is, with the Siam strategy working out well, going second to counterattack the North African strategy, I realized why not to use the Siam Capital strategy going first as well. I mean, if it works so well going second, then it could work out going first even better. So sure thing, I started picking my capital in the Siam territory going first instead of the North Africa territory like usually as well. And sure thing, it worked out well and let me pick a bunch of easy victories, ending up reaching the Grandmaster rank in 40 online games with 35 wins and 5 losses. At first I was just playing with whoever who joins, but then after getting bored of beating noobs, I started to limiting players to only those who have my or higher rank. And what I want to say is that you should always be open-minded and stay skeptical, even with the things I shared in this video, as I could possibly be wrong with some things or not even realize something too. The players adapt and new strategies are being discovered. For a long time the North African territory was considered to be the best territory for these settings, but you can see how it could be beatable even when going second. And while the Siam territory seems to be one of the best now, keep in mind that it's not perfect either. A lot of things could be dependent on how the both players select their territories and deploy their troops, so to always pick the Siam territory no matter what might not be the best idea. The Siam Capital strategy is beatable as well, and this is what I'm trying to take a deeper look into, which I'm planning to share with you in one of the future videos. So if you got interested, then make sure to subscribe, pushing the notification bell as well, so you would be notified when that video comes.